How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit. Welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Let's get started with some Pokemon rumors, leaks, news, all that kind of stuff. Starting things off with official news, guys. Starting from, I think, was it today? I think it was yesterday today. I don't really know. But basically, from the 12th yesterday, we now do have the Scarlet and Violet Love Disc event, which is out in, of course, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to celebrate Valentine's Day until the 15th of February, which is only really 2 days away until Thursday. And then after that, we have another event that's going to be taking place. And of course, we have PokeOS to kind of share that. If we go over here to the PokeOS website, which is, by the way, a fantastic website, one of the best places you can go to. Just go Scarlet and Violet and then Terra Raid events, and we already have Love Disc in there, and the upcoming event, of course, which is going to be for these fellas right here. So it's going to be, of course, Stonejourner, SQ, Armor Rogue, and Surledge, which are all going to be getting special Terra Raid events, or just regular Terra Raid events between 3 to 5 stars, which is going to be from the 16th until the 18th. So that's going to be the weekend, right? So this weekend, which is pretty crazy because, guys, we are so close to Pokemon Day now. Moving on, though, let's move over to something else, which is a really interesting post. So it was this post made right here by this guy called Elite Robo. Now, Elite Robo just makes Fakemon and stuff like that. It's just an artist, okay? An artiste, okay? And this person made this post saying, Gen 2 remakes, Gen 5 remakes, screw that, let's just merge them together. Here's a concept for Pokemon Black Gold and Silver White. It will be a 2D HD game with both Johto and Unova and some twist. Now, of course, this is a fan-made thingy that he made, but what is interesting is who interacted with this. If you look at the top right here, you'll see that it was retweeted, okay, or reposted, whatever you want to call it, by RiddlerCoo. Now, if you guys do not know who RiddlerCoo is, so I like to kind of take a moment and explain who this guy is, but he's a legitimate Pokemon leaker, okay? He's an actual leaker. He's given real leaked information. That's why he's called the Riddler, right? Because he gives us riddles, and then he leaks information through those riddles and stuff like that. So he is a legitimate source of information. Of course, there are times where he's been a bit, like, incorrect, I guess, or far from, like, you know, not really far from the truth, but where some stuff may not have actually came to fruition from his actual post. But if you scroll far enough down to where he was doing his, like, little explanations of his riddles, he did, like, a whole thing where he was explaining them, and kind of, like, you know, breaking them down, because he made a whole bunch of posts about stuff that was going to be in these games. So, again, he is a legitimate leaker. That is not necessarily, you know, BS. It's just that sometimes his riddles can be a little bit far-fetched. Like, for example, here, who thought this turtle was going to be, for example, Rock Dragon? And this is a post he made back in 21st of October, where he talked about, it's like, where he basically hinted at which one of its, like, what was going to be its typing, including, like, you know, normal, psychic, I think, as well as rock and dragon. And then, yeah, there you go. We got the results in the end, which was the rock, you know, sorry, no, it wasn't Rock Dragon, but right. But basically, that's what he was, like, you know, like, just kind of hinting at, or joking about. Again, my point is just the fact that, like, he's been hinting at a bunch of different stuff. For example, here, sorry to her fans, she's useless battle-wise. And it was true. Well, guess what? We couldn't really do anything with Briar. We couldn't battle her. We couldn't really, like, there was no value in spending time with this woman, like, at all. But basically, the end-all, be-all is that he's a legitimate leaker, and so far he hasn't really been, you know, tweeting a lot of stuff, hinting at new stuff, besides this one tweet, which I covered in my last video, which is of a white dragon and a black dragon, so Blue Eyes, you know, Blue Eyes White Dragon, or whatever it's called, from Yu-Gi-Oh!, and he says, Happy Chinese New Year, love you guys, and of course, it's two, you know, black and white dragons, Pokemon Black and White, you know, Zekrom and, you know, Reshiram and Zekrom in this case, you know, possibility being, like, hinted at right here. Again, it's just you know, it hasn't said necessarily, he hasn't said that it's a rumor, but the fact that he retweeted this post, and he even replied to this post, by the way. So we're going to read the rest of the post, and then we're going to continue on to what he said. But first of all, the person says, in Pokemon Black Gold, you start in Unova, then have a Johto as the second half of the game, after getting the 8th badge and losing control of your Pokemon, and vice versa for Silver White. You could choose between all Johto and Unova protagonists, though the story is just Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and Black and White, Black 1 and White 1. Right, so here it is, Black Gold and Silver White. Somebody said, what was, like, the other one was, like, not Silver White or something else. There's, like, another suggestion for a name, but either way, or White Silver, I think that's what the other one was. Because yeah, he had black, gold, and silver, white. So white, silver also makes sense. Either way, after customizing your character's skin, eye, and hair color, you then choose your starter Pokemon, any of the Johto and Unova guys. You can beat Johto with Samurott or beat Unova with Meganium. Your choice. When you move regions, you get another choice. Okay. A few people pointed out that silver-white, while thematically fitting, doesn't fit with the black-gold, so I made a version with white-silver. So there you go. Basically, if you scroll down around here, okay, you'll find this tweet. Love this ID, kissing emoji, right? And it's from none else than the man himself, Riddler Koo, okay? He himself posted this, right? Love this ID. He even retweeted this, which makes everybody sus. Now, again, it could be Riddler Koo just messing with us, okay? It could just be him trying to make a joke out of it or messing about it or just, joking about the whole thing. That's what this could be. This could literally be him just mocking everyone and just maybe saying, oh, I love this ID, but it's not going to be happening, right? Again, it's just a bit odd that he retweeted this. Like, he doesn't necessarily retweet stuff like this ever, really, okay? Like fan art stuff, he only does once in a while, and when he does do it, usually it is towards a certain direction. So this is a bit odd. Again, a bit odd, a bit out of place, and it makes everything here feel a little bit more sus. So again, I would love you guys' thoughts and opinions, because people down here are losing their stuff, right? People are just kind of losing their shit. Wondering is it going to be a new fusion of two games into one? And people are just excited, but again, it's very confusing because again, I don't know if this is something we can trust. I don't know if we can trust this post to be legitimately, correct. Because even here, for example, when he did post out the tweet, Happy Chinese New Year, love you guys with the two dragons, the black and white dragon. Lorenzo here replied saying, I hope we will have this one too, if you know what I mean. And it's Purple Eyes Gray Dragon. So, of course, the Gray Dragon, which should be, I guess, Kyurem, I don't know. He says, I only love Red Eyes Black Dragon, which, yeah, it's a little confusing what that's supposed to mean. But, again, it's a little bit, weird, man. The fact that he did this tweet, and I know some of you guys will be just it's just a random dude tweeting that he likes a fan project, or fan art, I guess, in this case, because it's not an actual project. This is just a fan concept by Elite Robo here. It's literally just an ID, right? It's just an ID. It's not an actual thing that's, gonna be real. But it is, nonetheless, though, a pretty cool concept, and it just feels weird that Riddler Koo, of all people, would be actually, interacting with that post. It feels a little bit odd, doesn't it? It feels a little bit strange that he'd be talking about it, or even getting involved with it at all, because he knows that anything he says will be taken, at face value, because, again, he just blew up from, the knowledge he did have on the last few games. I want to say last, 5 Pokemon entries, including DLC in that 5 entries that I'm talking about. He has not had a lot of knowledge. He's shared a lot of that knowledge, so it is a bit curious, to say the least. But that's not the end of this video, guys. That's going to be the end of the Koo stuff for now, but let's move on to something else. In this case, we're going to be talking about some rumors over on 4chan. So, the first one we have here is a post that was made, and I thought we'd take a look at it and see what it has to say. All it really starts off with is 2024, the 27th of February, Pokemon Presents. Starting things off, Pokemon The Adventure, a platformer game. You'll have a story too. You are a trainer. Now, a platformer game would be something like Mario, right? I'm gonna be real. I don't think we're ever getting a Pokemon platformer game. I don't even know what that would be like or how that would work. I have no context for how a Pokemon platformer game would even fit in with the Pokemon, style. I guess you could do it, sure. If Mystery Dungeon exists, then a platformer could exist too. But it just seems a little bit weird. Moving on, Pokemon Rangers Remake. Now, Pokemon Rangers is a series of games that maybe some of you guys don't know about or don't remember, but Rangers is a very, very classic series at this point, because we haven't seen it in so long, man. It's been a long time, since the DS era, since we last saw anything to do with Pokemon Rangers. It's been a while. So honestly, a Rangers remake wouldn't be that crazy. But again, I am a little disappointed that it would be a remake. The thing I hate about spin-offs with Pokemon, or just in recent times with games and everything, is that we keep getting so many remakes, but a lack of actual, new titles. I would love a new Rangers game. I would love a new Mystery Dungeon game. New. Again, emphasis on new. New story, new Pokemon, new characters, new everything. And that doesn't just go for Pokemon. That goes for everything. I don't know why we're so stuck on this, nostalgia thing. And I get nostalgia. It sells, okay? It's easier to sell a product that's guaranteed to sell, that's done well before. It's easier to sell a product like that. That's fully understandable from a business perspective. But man, it will get like really, really drawn out after a while. Pokemon is like the one franchise that's been able to not double dip on their content, but like quadruple dip on their content. I mean, think about it. We've gotten Kanto, like what? We got Kanto in Gold and Silver. We got Kanto in Fire Red Leaf Green. We got Kanto in Heart Gold Soul Silver. We got Kanto in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. My point is, they can dip their cookie back into that, milk over and over again. Actually, speaking of which, I do have some milk right here. But either way, my point is just this. It's a little bit annoying that they just do remakes. And I hope that, hopefully, if they do a Rangers game, that it won't be just another, here's a quick remake. Here's a quick remake. I don't know, man. I'm not feeling that. But, I prefer, an actual new game. But if it's a remake, at least it's something for Rangers, because that series has been dead now for well over a decade. Pokemon Masters new main story, okay? New main story. So Pokemon Masters, of course, EX is the mobile game, which hasn't really had much of a change in its, there hasn't really been much happening with that one in a while. Moving on. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Destruction Dynasty. Interesting name. We'll have all the starters as playable, Pikachu and Eevee, all regional Meowths, and some other new Pokemon like the Wooloo line. I mean, it wouldn't be bad, I guess, and I would love a new Mystery Dungeon game. That's what I was just talking about. This does not seem real to me. Pokemon X Ace Attorney, visual novel game named an Ace Attorney in a Pokemon world. Brother, that would be the most wild thing in the world for Pokemon to do a collab with Ace Attorney. Not happening, okay? I don't think I've ever seen Pokemon do an actual crossover with anything besides Smash, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, they do crossovers with, brands, but they never do, video game crossovers, as far as I'm aware. Again, besides Smash, that's the only thing. That's the only thing that I can think of where they've done an actual crossover or where they've put Pokemon in it. So, this just seems really unlikely, but I don't know. Moving on, Pokemon's next animated movie trailer, new protagonist for it. Okay, interesting. No new main series game this year, hence the focus on spin-offs. Okay, that would be interesting. While there may not be a new big game this year, we'll have one early in 2025. The trailer ends with revealing it, shows an animated trailer focused on Black and White 1 and Black and White 2 story, and then shows protagonists and rivals of a new game, picking the Unovan starters. Does not show the protagonist and rivals clearly at the end. Shows a mysterious new Pokemon in that game. I skipped the obvious stuff, by the way. So, okay. Basically, what he's saying here is that it would be a Black and White type game. I don't know if it's, again, doesn't indicate what kind. Doesn't indicate if it's a remake, if what it is. But the fact that it shows Black and White story, I'm assuming a Black and White remake. So that's pretty much where this rumor ends. I'm going to give this one a solid 5 out of 10. One, I like the idea of a bunch of remake games this year. This would be sick. But I also don't really know, man. One thing that's been making me think that we might not get a new game this year, is the fact that there has been such a lack of posts by Riddler Coup. The fact that this guy hasn't been tweeting a lot. His most recent thing, this is, the only thing I've seen that's kind of in that direction of it's him hinting something. Everything else here, though, there's been a lack of actual stuff, right? There's been, a very big lack of actual information from him, which is, again, a little bit odd. It has been pointing a lot to Unova, though, lol, meeting future father-in-law for the first time. All Unova starters in the preview, or the Pokemon video, I don't know, whatever. And then, yeah, you can see, Oshawott and whatnot, Tepig and Snivy. But, again, it's he's pointing a lot to Unova, and it's just a little bit odd. So that's the only thing that makes me think we're going to get a Unova game this year, is the fact that he keeps pointing in that direction. But again, who knows? Moving on, though, we do have another thing here, another post. This one is very different, okay? So this one has a picture of Eternatus, or Eternamax, and it says, next Legends game is Pokemon Legends Eternatus. Ooh, okay. It continues and says, region is ancient Galar, named Albion. Okay, first of all, I like the idea of the name. I like the concept, but the chance of them doing a Legends game based on Galar, or just the Galar region already, seems a little bit too early. It seems like a little too early. But again, keep in mind, they can do whatever they want. They could literally drop a remake of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire tomorrow. They could be like, oh, yeah, guys, we're doing a Ruby remake again all of a sudden. They could technically do anything. So anything is possible. That's the crazy part. You have to remember that anything is a possibility in this case. And this is a possibility too. That's all I'm going to say. It's a possibility too. He continues, so says, no time travel protagonist is No, time travel protagonist is a native of the region and era. It's set much earlier than PLA, okay? Instead of Pokeballs, you have magical runes of sealing, which work a bit like go-catching mechanic. You have to be quite precise, but if you hit the Pokemon, it's 100% guaranteed to be caught, okay? Runes don't run out, but you use them so many times in a day before you have no recharge. The ancestors of Kanto starters are here. Story confirms the Kanto starters trio are Galar and Albion natives. Yeah, I don't know about that, Chief. You've already lost me. You already lost me, okay? First of all, the fact that they wouldn't have a Pokeball and they have something, you have a magical, you know, like you have magical runes, you already lost it there. It's all bullshit from there because there's no way Pokemon would not include the biggest, best, like, you know, one of the most, like, iconic things from the Pokemon franchise, the Pokeball. There's no way they would get rid of that. Even Palworld copied the Pokeball concept and kept that. Like, brother, there's no way they would drop that. Like, no freaking way, man. Not happening, okay? Not happening. Continuing on, though, it says, the starters of the Kanto stars here. Story confirmed the Kanto starters trio are Galarian and Albion. I don't think so, Chief. Story centered around the Darkest Day and Eternatus' original arrival. That would be cool. I wouldn't mind that. Lots of answers to versions of existing Pokemon. Definite bias towards Kanto and Galar. Sneasler replaced with a Draconite, a now extinct variant of Dragonite, much faster than Sneasler and can fly, but also required later in the game. Dex cut is still in effect. Mostly Sinnoh and Unova Pokemon cut this time. Slight base building mechanic included in the current build. Not very much like Palworld. Not very much like... Okay, game has been in development long before Palworld, but fears of inevitable comparisons means features might be gutted. That would be ridiculous. That just doesn't make any sense. But this is like the most far-fetched one I've seen. So far, I'm giving this one a 1. Just in believability, okay? And the biggest thing is literally not like the name or the concept or whatever. It's literally the idea that they would remove Pokeballs instead of for runes of sealing. That's just not happening. The Pokeball itself is a recognizable like thing. Like the Pokeball logo, the Pokeball like literally look of it is the most recognizable thing ever. Like even the Pokeball we see in Legends Arceus is still a Pokeball. It still has the shape of a Pokeball, looks like a Pokeball, and smells like a Pokeball, okay? There's no way that they would get rid of that. Like that is one of the main things that makes that thing stand out. There's no way they're getting rid of that. Not happening. So that's why I don't think this one is a real post. Moving over to the next and final post for this video in terms of 4chan, I think. And this one is a bit different. So there's a giant image of Jetsis, a chibi Jetsis, and it says, Pokemon leak from Anonymous. Says, Pokemon Presents will be shown on the 24th of... Wait, Presents will be shown on the 24th? So not even on Pokemon Day, apparently, according to this guy. The Pokemon Presents will show off news for Pokemon Go series, card game series, Scarlet and Violet DLC, and will show off the new Pokemon Black and White remake. The remake will again be handled by Ilka and will look basically the same as Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. That wouldn't shock me too much if that was the case, actually. The remake will be called Pokemon Deep Black and Vast White. I feel like I've heard that name before, and will contain both Black and White 1 and 2. Okay. The ending of the present will show off the next series of Legends games, this one taking place in the Unova region. So he's just going all in on the Unova. Like, this post is going all in on the Unova train, which, again, wouldn't be that crazy to, like, believe in or whatever, but, I don't know, man. I'm curious to know if, like, this actually would make sense. Like, again... It's all a possibility. Remember, with all these posts and all these things I talk about, there's always a possibility, right? It's rumors. But this one just doesn't do much. It doesn't say much. And also, sorry, but the idea of them doing the Pokemon Presents almost like 4 days before the Pokemon Day, it just doesn't make any sense. Because, like, again, Pokemon Day is going to be perfectly on a Tuesday, which is a good enough time for them to do a Pokemon Presents, right? It wouldn't make any sense to do it 4 days early, unless they're going to do the same thing they did when they revealed Pokemon Unite, which is that they had a Pokemon Presents one day, and then during that Presents, they announced, hey, and we have a big reveal, we're going to have a separate Pokemon Presents 4 days from now, we're going to reveal even more stuff. And then they just revealed Pokemon Unite. Again, there's a possibility that's what's going on here. That's the possibility. It's a very high chance that that's what, they could do something like that. But that just seems so off-brand. It just seems so out of place and it doesn't fit, okay? It just doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense to what we're talking about. It just literally does not fit, which is really odd to me. But again, I digress. It is what it is. Again, this rumor, I think the chibi looks kind of goofy and funny, but... Other than that, I just don't know what to feel about this one. I don't know if it's legit or not. I don't know if it's like has any value to it. Again, I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below because again, I don't really have much else to say on this one. I just don't think it's real. Just because of the day he says the present's going to be happening. Unless that's a typo, that's going to be on the 24th, but I don't think so. I'm hoping it will be a typo. As for the idea, what it says, though, having a black and white remake and then also having a Legends Unova game in the same style and everything, like following the exact same formula as they did with the Ilka stuff, with, you know, BDSP and Legends Arceus, I wouldn't mind that, but that's like assuming they would go down that exact same path. And also, who says Legends is even a series, right? We've gotten one Legends game. Unless we get a second one at any point for the next 10 years, if we don't get one in the next 10 years, that Legends is not a series. Legends doesn't exist. It was a one-time game, right? The same way that Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were a one-time game. It's a chance that, like, Legends might be in the same boat. Again, it's not guaranteed. It might still have a chance to exist in multiple games because it did so well and they might like the idea of it and stuff. But again, there's no guarantee, right? There's no guarantees for that. There's literally nothing that's pointing in that direction 100%. So, again, we're going to leave that one there. Next up, there was a bit of a wild post over on 4chan that was posted as well. And again, it's more so to do with actual stuff we have seen. And it's basically just doing a little collage saying, like, it all comes together, basically. And kind of mixing together the fact that, like, if you look at all the... Like, there's like a bunch of little, you know, small little hints in these games, you know, which were kind of present, I guess. But again, I don't really know what to take away from this one. Basically, it just brings up the fact that Pokemon Home version 3.0.0 also contains several Pokemon renders that are just eggs with text, which belongs to the following: another form of Spidops, Tandemaus, and Mousehold if they were not gender unknown. All the ride forms of Koraidon and Miraidon. What the F, Game Freak, and Ilka. And then here you have just a bunch of forms. And a bunch of references to Black and White. Like, for example, in Black and White, the fact that there is, like, in the top right here, you guys can see the fact that there was, like, on that book, there was a shelf that had a, you know, a Scarlet and Violet book in it. Of course, it's no guarantee that's exactly what it was. But then, of course, there's just a bunch of, like, little hints, like the Pokedex entries for Okidogi, Monkey Dory, and Pheasantipede, that they were, like, runts, like, kind of shitty Pokemon, that then got, like, powered up by Petrorunts. With its whole, like, malignant chain and its, like, actual chain around them and everything. Again, it's just a lot of, like, stuff like that. It's a little bit all over the place. But again, I thought I would share this real quick just because I thought it was funny. But moving on, though, the final thing I want to mention for this video, guys, is go and subscribe to my friend Sylph Spectre. Yes, if you guys know Sylph Spectre on YouTube, he's a Nuzlocke channel, but he started his brand new channel, Pokemon World Battle League. Please go check it out. Go subscribe to it. He already hit 6,000 subs in about, I think, 48 hours or so, which is pretty crazy, man. It's pretty nuts. But I want you guys to go over there, subscribe, give him some love. Make sure to follow him on Twitter as well. It would just be appreciated. This is, like, basically, this is the sponsored segment. He hasn't paid me to say this, but basically, I just want to give him some love because I love this man. He's one of my best friends, especially my best friend online, I would say. And I thought I would just give him some appreciation. And yeah, guys, go subscribe to Pokemon World Battle League. It's basically a tournament between the official Pokemon characters. He's literally even making a whole website and shit. Like, it is nuts. Just go check it out. Go subscribe. Thank you all for watching. See you guys in the next one.